Hello everyone, welcome back to this video. I am Kaustubh Bhavsar and Dr. S.H. sir is my guide for this capstone project, and in this series of this DevOps playlist, I have already covered Git and GitHub complete tutorial, also the DevOps basics. Now in this video, I will be covering Docker, which will be a very beginner friendly tutorial. In this tutorial, I will be covering all theoretical as well as like practical concepts of Docker. So without wasting too much time, let's get started. In this video, we will mostly talk about life before Docker, then what is Docker, what are images and containers, what are Docker commands, then Docker image layers. Then we will also talk about port binding, Docker versus virtual machine, Docker networks, Docker compose. Then maybe in second part we will be trying to Dockerize our own application, Docker volumes, and I will be telling you how we can Dockerize our application into our local system. Then we can push it to Docker Hub as well. And in this complete video, there will be a lot of hands-on demo. So yes, we can get started. Now we will talk how was life before Git. Exactly, life before Git means the situation. Life before Docker. So we will talk about the situation which was there before introduction of Docker into our technical world. So issues before Docker were we had issues in replicating our local environment. We had issue in dependency installation also. So suppose you are a developer working in a company and you have one project, it is working on your local. Now a new member comes in, you are using your Windows machine, a new member comes in, he has Mac operating system, and now he wants to implement or like set up all the project which is there on your local to his machine. So now you are using Node version 20, and as per latest, your friend or maybe the other person who has Mac, he has Node 22. So it might be the case that the application is running perfectly on your machine, but as soon as you will share that application to your friend, it might not run completely. So this was the issue while replicating one project or one application of a system to another application. There was also issue in dependency installation. So for small scale project, it is possible to replicate each and every version of technology you are using. But suppose you are working in big company and it has thousands and hundreds and thousands of dependencies. So it is not possible for you to install each and every dependency manually. So in that case, missing a single dependency can cause that application to not run from the other machine. Also, specific version of a code depends on a specific version of technology. So suppose in your application you use something which generally works on React version which is less than 16, but your friend which is using the another machine, another operating system, he has latest version of React after 16. So it might be the case that the application which is running on your machine will not run on your friend's machine, and this is the biggest, you can say, critical problem, and we generally call it as it works on my machine. So if it is working on my machine, why it is not working on the another person's machine? The reason is different versions, different dependencies, different operating system as well. We can see commands of Linux doesn't work on Windows or Mac. So if I just wanted to give you a demo, I will open CMD for you and I will use ls. It is telling me ls is not recognized as internal or external command. If I will use pwd, it is telling me pwd present working directory is not recognized as internal or external command. Why it is telling me that? Because these are Linux Ubuntu commands which are not running on my Windows, because I am using Windows machine, and all these issues they are again replicated at production. So suppose in your company your production server is using Linux, a developer is using Windows, a tester is using Mac, it is creating problem. So these were the issues before introduction of Docker. Now what exactly Docker is? It is, I have just added a definition for you, but I will try to explain this as well. So Docker is nothing but it is an open source platform that automates the deployment. The term automation is very important because before DevOps life cycle, nothing was automated. Each and everything was manual. So Docker is an open source platform which is automating the deployment, management, and orchestration of software applications. within lightweight isolated environments called containers. So in short, Docker is nothing but it is a application, or it is a tool which is helping us to run our containers. So what are containers? We will move forward. There are two terms which are very important in Docker. These are images and containers. So we'll start with containers. Containers, they are nothing but they help us replicating our entire local environment in a standardized way across a large team. So as I told you all the issues of Docker and why Docker is introduced, suppose if it is possible for you, like you are sharing your code to your friends, but that code is not working on your friend's machine. But if it is possible that you share all your code as well as all your versions of technology which you are using, all the dependencies, everything combined as a folder to your friend, and if your friend is going to use that folder and try to use that as their local environment, it is definitely going to run. So container is nothing but it is a combination of your code plus all your dependencies, and that combination is called as container, which runs on different machines. So it is nothing but it is going to help us like replicating the entire local environment across the standard team from machine number A to machine number B. It is a single unit which combines all our application plus dependencies. And irrespective of machine operating system, container can run there. So it does not matter whether I am using Windows, Mac operating system or Linux, Ubuntu, it is definitely going to run from one operating system to another operating system. So you understand that the thing is, it is now simplified for us to replicate our local environment irrespective of any other factors. Now we can talk about images. What are images? It is an executable file which contains instructions to build containers. So the thing is, we need container to run our maybe Linux commands on Windows to replicate our local environment from machine A to machine B. We need containers. We need to execute the containers, but we cannot directly create and share containers. For that, we need images. Class and object has similar relation which we can directly relate with image and containers. What class exactly is? Class is nothing but blueprint of object. It contains all the member functions, data members. Similarly, image is nothing but it is a static screenshot of our local environment. So image is nothing but we can directly compare it with class, which contains all the instructions, because it is an executable file and it contains the instructions to build a container. So for a class we create container, for a class we create object. Similarly, for an image we are going to create a container. So suppose your container is actually running instance just like an object. So for class we create its object. Class is nothing but it contains our data members and member functions. Relating it with images and containers, image is your static screenshot of local environment. And by using image, we create containers of that image, which are actually running instances. I hope image and containers are very clear. We will actually implement the things so that you can definitely understand in a better way. Now moving forward, I will tell you how you are going to set up your Docker. So uh, I will just open Chrome browser. If you are using it with me, just open your Chrome browser. You can see I have created the Docker notes for you all. So I will try to attach this PDF in the description of this video, as well as I will try to attach all the PPT which I am referring in this particular video for your help. So now just open your Chrome browser and search for Docker desktop and hit enter. You will be there on this particular UI, and you can open the very first website, Docker desktop. You have to just scroll when you will be there on this page. As soon as you will be on this page, you can see the one containerization software for developers and teams. Just scroll a little bit, and here you can see download Docker desktop. So as soon as you will hover on this button, there will be a lot of options for you for Linux, for Windows. So for Windows, I'll suggest to go with this AMD 64, and for Windows, for Mac, it depends on whether you have Apple Silicon or Intel chip. So as soon as you will click here, the download will get start. Here you can see the file is getting downloaded. As soon as the file is downloaded, .exe for Windows, .dml for your Mac, you just have to open it or double click it. If you are not able to do it directly from this place, close everything and open your file manager. Go to download section. You can double click on that, and it is just same as downloading any other application. You just have to go ahead, click next and click install. As soon as you will able to install everything, whether you have successfully installed or not, you want to check, just open your command prompt and uh, you have to type one command, which is docker -v, and you have to hit enter. If it is correctly successfully installed, it is going to show you Docker version might be different. You might have the latest version of Docker. It does not like affect too much, but yes, if you are getting this, it means you have successfully implemented everything, download everything correctly. But you are getting Docker is not recognized as internal or external command. It means that you have made any mistake. So just on YouTube also you can refer any particular video for that. You will get a lot of things. Now if you will put Docker and hit enter, you will see each and every command related with Docker. So I will just zoom it for you. You can see I just entered the Docker command. It will tell me a self-sufficient runtime for containers. These are all my commands: run, execute, ps, build, pull, push, images, login, logout. Each and everything is given there. So you can go ahead with this documentation as well. And now I will close this terminal and we can move ahead with other concepts. So moving forward, now I hope everyone has installed Docker successfully. Now I will just give you a small demo with a small command. This is a command to create Ubuntu environment on a Windows using Docker container. So earlier, if you want to use your Ubuntu on a Windows machine or Mac machine, what are the different ways? A WSL is one thing, or you can do it by using virtual machine, VirtualBox. But really, can you think that virtual machine or VirtualBox is a good method in your PC? Because it is going to acquire too much space. I'm not saying that it is a wrong method, but yes, it is definitely going to acquire you a lot of space. It is a complex method because as soon as you will switch your operating system, then you cannot again interact with Windows or do your other things related with Windows. Now, without doing this all hectic procedure, just we will run one command, which is docker, you can say docker run -id ubuntu. I will tell you what this command means and what is everything. Before that, just open your Docker desktop. It was open in my machine earlier. So if it is not open in your machine, you can just start opening it. So I will just go back to my Chrome browser. I will open my Chrome browser first. You can see Docker is open here. So see, this is your UI for Docker desktop. If you are new, you do not have any experience of Docker, you can see on left side we have two main things. Like everything is important, but we will majorly focus on these two things, which is containers and images. So you can see if you have installed it recently, your images section will be empty. In my Docker desktop, you can see my app, Mongo, Ubuntu, different images because I was working on that. But in your PC, it might be empty. Containers also, it will be definitely empty because I have also deleted all my containers. Now you can see container section is empty. I will now open my command prompt for you and just open your command prompt. Now we will run a small command which is docker. I will zoom it for you. Docker run -id ubuntu. As soon as I will hit one command, you can check what is going to happen. I am hitting this command. As soon as I will hit this command, it is going to take some time in your laptop because if you are new to this Docker, what exactly happen is it will search for the Ubuntu image. So this is nothing but your image name. It is going to search for Ubuntu. You can see now my directory has shifted from C users and my name to root at the rate something. Now if I am going to use ls, what do you think? I will just show you. If I am going to use ls, now it is directly giving me the different files present in my system. If I will use pwd, it is going to tell me that I am in my root directory. So how it is happening? How Linux and Ubuntu commands are working on my Windows machine? The only reason is I have switched my environment from Windows terminal to a Ubuntu terminal. How did I done that? So for this, what I have done is I just created a container of Ubuntu. I have ran that container, and after execution of that container, currently my this local environment is switched to Ubuntu environment. So you can see in container section, one container named brave underscore bug is in green, means running state. So earlier there was no container. Now exactly what happened when I use the command, I will open this docker run -it ubuntu. Docker is your fixed keyword. Run means you are trying to run the container of particular image. -it, it means you are trying to run it in interactive mode. Interactive mode it means we can access the terminal of Ubuntu. So lastly, Ubuntu means image name. So what exactly it is doing? It is going to create one Ubuntu image for you. If it is not present in your local, it will pull that image. If you are familiar with GitHub, you might understand what is pull and push. In simple words, if it is not present in your machine, you want to use that, you are pulling it from something remote. So nothing but it is just pulling the Ubuntu image in your local machine. Then by using run, it is going to create the container of this Ubuntu. So always image first, then container secondly. So docker run means I am trying to run and execute the container which is created from this Ubuntu image, and I want to run run that container in -it mode. -it means interactive mode, where I can access the Ubuntu terminal. I just displayed you how I was able to use ls and pwd command. Now we will move forward, and I will tell you how exactly this Ubuntu was fetched. So just move to browser and open Docker Hub. I will close this tab. Just open a new tab. It might take some time in my PC because my two different heavy applications are running currently. One is Docker and one is my recording application. So just open, sorry, not Docker desktop. You have to use Hub. Just open a new tab, and in the search bar just write hub.docker.com and hit enter. So as soon as you will hit enter to hub.docker.com, you will be rendered on one different site. So you can check it takes some time to load because of some internet issue. Now this is the home page. Here you can see search Docker Hub. So I will use Ubuntu here. I will search for Ubuntu because I was trying to fetch Ubuntu. I will open Ubuntu. So this is Ubuntu on Docker Hub. So this is one image which is created by someone and posted on Docker Hub. So when you were running the command docker run -it ubuntu, it might tell that unable to fetch Ubuntu image as locally. So it is trying to pull that image. So from where it is pulling? It is pulling from this particular Docker Hub. So it pulled the image, it created the container of that image, and then executed that container. So understand the thing is, if it is not present on your local machine, it is going to pull it from this local, from this remote UI, which is your Docker Hub. Just similar as GitHub. Git is for your local, Docker is for your, Docker desktop is for your local. GitHub.com, it is your remote. Similarly, Docker Hub, it is your remote. I hope you are able to reload, relate each and everything. Now moving forward, we will try some Docker commands. So I have written these commands in this presentation as well, and that my documentation as well. So we will follow that documentation because I will both are the same things. I will add both of the things in the video description. So moving forward to my browser where I have this documentation. Now, uh, like most of the things which I wanted to discuss, I have written here as well because in PPT I was not able to add each and every notes. So I wanted to discuss about the properties of containers are. Containers are portable because we can share from one machine to another. They are lightweight, that does not require too much size. So suppose you go to this Docker desktop and just go to images section, and here you can see my Ubuntu image is green, it is in use, and it has 117.35 MB of size. And now it is not that much size. If you are trying to use directly Ubuntu, install Ubuntu, it is in GBs. So it is one important thing. Now we will go ahead. I will tell you what are some important Docker commands and how you are going to execute that. The very first is Docker pull image name. So what Docker pull image name does is it fetches that image from your Docker. So suppose I will write hello world here. I will hit enter. This is my hello world image. You can see I have this command docker pull hello world. So I will just copy this command, open my command prompt. Here I will close this because it has a running container of Ubuntu. So I will wait till it get closed. It is closed now. I will open a new command prompt. Okay, I'm able to open that, and I will zoom it for you. The first command is docker pull uh, image name. So it means that you're pulling, I just mistyped that. It means that you're pulling a remote image which is not present in your local machine to your local machine. You're pulling that. So I will open my Docker desktop. You can see in images section, I have my app, Mongo, Ubuntu, Mongo Express, but it does not contain hello world image. I copied that command, I copied that command from this UI here, docker pull docker hello world. I will paste it that command here. You can see docker pull hello world. I will hit enter. You can see using default tag latest, and it is saying that pulling from library slash hello world. And now if I will move to my Docker desktop, you can see hello world images there. But in containers, why there is no container? Because for Ubuntu, I have executed the command as docker run. What run does is it just creates the container and execute that container. But here I have just used docker pull image name. I hope you are able to understand. It has pulled the remote image to my local Docker desktop. Moving to the next command, which is my Docker images. It is going to show all the images. So as till now, if you have only two images, hello world and Ubuntu, you will, if you will do Docker images, it is going to tell you only two images. In my case, it is telling me all the images. So I have two my apps, one Mongo, one Ubuntu, one hello world, and one Mongo Express. So total, you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 images are displayed here. Similarly, you can check here as well. I have total 6 images. Moving forward to next command, which is my docker run -it image name or docker run image name, which I generally described you, which is for docker run -it Ubuntu. Okay, it is nothing but creating a container and executing that. Ubuntu is not a name of container, it is name of your image. Docker run -it image name, it means you are going to create a container of the image and you are going to execute that container. And I told you what -it means. You are trying to execute that in interactive mode where you can access the terminal. You can either use docker run image name or docker run -it image name. It depends on your use case. Moving forward, we have docker ps -a. It tells us how many containers exist. So not images. It is telling me how many container exist. So in container section, if I will move to container section, I can see I have only one container. So I will do one more thing. I will open cmd for you and I will write a command docker run -it hello world. What it will do, it will create a container and execute that container for hello world image. I will hit enter. It is executing, and you can see as soon as I executed this command, it has given me some output. So it is also one interesting thing. It tells us how exactly Docker is uh, doing the things in backend when you execute the run command. So we can just read this documentation. This is specifically for Docker related things. So you can see they are telling hello from Docker. So hello from our end as well. Now this message shows that your installation appears to be working correctly. Okay, so everything is fine from our end. Now to generate this output, this message, Docker took the following steps. So this is the flow of Docker when you execute some command. The first thing is Docker client contacted the Docker daemon. This is the important term or important man everything is in this overall scenario. Docker daemon. So Docker daemon pulled the hello world image from Docker hub. As I told you, it is going to pull that image. Then Docker daemon created a new container because we have used the command run. So first, if image is not present, pull that image. If image is present, create container of that image. If container is present, execute that container. So Docker daemon created a new container from the image which runs executable that produces an output you're currently reading. So this is the output produced by this command. Now the Docker daemon stream that output to Docker client which sent you on your terminal. It is telling us some different commands as well, but we will not move forward to that part. Coming back to our documentation. Now what I wanted to tell is, if you again go to Docker desktop, you can see here are now two containers. Difference is one is online, which means it is running, and one other is offline, exited. Now I will execute one command, which is my docker ps-a. As soon as I executed this command, docker ps-a, I see there are two containers present. The containers created from which image? One is created for hello world, one is created from Ubuntu. Command is given there. Created a minute ago for hello world, and Ubuntu I created 12 minutes ago. You can see, and there is nothing in port section. So you understand the thing is docker ps-it tells me how many container exist in my local, but docker ps excluding the hyphen a, not in, we are not including, it tells me how many active containers are there. Active means running container. So it is telling me I have this container id which has Ubuntu as an image. Like I have created that container from Ubuntu image which is currently running, which is there also displayed in my Docker desktop. That brave buck, which is a container created from Ubuntu image, is running. If I will stop this container, you can see I just clicked on stop. It is running, and at the end it will get stopped. So as soon as it will be stopped and I will use docker ps, it is not going to give me anything. You can see it is exited. Both are now yet to start. So if I will again execute the command docker ps, it will tell me that I do not have any running container. So you understand the things, right? Now moving forward to next command, which is my docker start container. So recently I just stopped my container. I wanted to start it again. I will do docker start container name or docker start container id. So I will go to docker. I can see the name as brave underscore buck. So I can copy this name. Brave underscore buck. I will just move back. You can see it is not running. I will open my command. I will close this first. Open a new command because it is going downward and downward again. So just I will write docker start. I will paste the name Bravebug. You can see Bravebug. It is giving me output, and now it is in running state. I want to stop that. I will use docker stop Bravebug. So as soon as this command will getting executed, this green running status will be exited. So it is taking some time to exit from this running state. You can see it executed. It also stopped. Either I can use a container ID as well. I will copy this container ID, go to CMD. I will write docker start. Start means we are starting the exiting like existing container. I will paste this ID, enter. You can see it started and it ended as well, because uh, This is a hello world image and it is not running for too much time. So just for your sake, I'll just copy this container ID from Ubuntu. I will write a command docker start, paste the container ID, and you can see that Brave bug is running again. Similarly, docker stop, paste, it will stop. The thing is, it takes some time to stop your running container, but yes, this command are definitely going to work. Or a better way, if you want to make the things easy, you can go to this Docker desktop as well. But depends. I'll suggest to use commands as well because it is necessary thing as well. Now moving forward to next part. I can see Docker remove image, image name. So RMI means remove image. So this is a command to remove or delete any image. This is a command Docker RM container name to remove any container. So now I will tell you how to execute these two commands. I will open a notepad for you. Maybe we can skip that. Okay, I will tell you theoretically. Just listen carefully. If there is a container which is executing, it is in running state, you cannot delete that container. Very important thing is, if the container is executing, it is started, it is in running state, you cannot delete the container. Very first thing. Second thing, second most important thing, if a container exists which is created from particular image name, then you cannot delete that image. So if you want to delete one particular image, delete all the containers of that image. If you want to delete a container, then first stop that container if it is executing. I will tell you exactly how the things are working. You can see this Brave bug is my Ubuntu container. I will start this container from here. Now, to I will tell you command to remove the image first, and this is definitely going to give us the you can say error. The reason is, for my Ubuntu I have one container created already, so we are not able to delete our Ubuntu image because there is a container existed. So I will write a command docker rmi means remove image Ubuntu. I want to remove this Ubuntu image, so I'll just maximize it. I want to remove this Ubuntu image. I will hit enter. It will tell me error response from daemon conflict because we cannot delete this. There is a container exist from this image. So what I need to do is, first I need to delete the container. Okay. I will write a command to delete container as well. Docker rmi, docker rm brave underscore bug. This is that my container from Ubuntu image. So docker remove container name. I will hit enter. Again, I will expect the error. Error response from daemon. You cannot remove container because it is already in running state. The first thing is, if a container is running, stop that container. Docker stop brave underscore bug. So the container is running, stop that container, then delete that container, and lastly delete the image. So you can see it is getting some taking some time. After a few seconds, it will stop my brave bug container. You can check here as well in my Docker desktop. You can see it is stopped. So open CMD, I can see it is taking some time here. So I will minimize that. Okay, you can see it is stopped. Here also it is not running. Now I can delete that. So I will use docker remove container, and which is my brave underscore bug. Now it is not going to give me any error. I will hit enter. You can see brave bug. I will go to my Docker desktop. There is no brave bug, which was the container from Ubuntu image. Now I can delete Ubuntu as well. How I can delete Ubuntu? But yes, you can delete Ubuntu by using Docker remove image, and image name is Ubuntu. It is not going to give me any error. You can see it is deleted. Moving to Docker desktop, just go to images section. Are you able to see your Ubuntu image? Click OK. I just have 5 images now. Ubuntu is directly deleted. So this is the important thing. I will again repeat. If you want to delete image, delete all the containers of that image. If you want to delete a container, stop that container from its execution. Simple things. Move to documentation again. I just covered H and I command as well. Now this Docker pull image name version. So suppose you want to pull the image. So I am able to recall one thing when I pulled the image hello world. It was telling me uh, fetching the latest. So we can do it again as well. I will use Docker remove image hello world. Do you think it will delete hello world image? I don't think so because there is one container. I will hit enter. Yes, it will not delete. Reason is I have one container. But the good thing is it is not in execution state. So I will not stop that. I can directly delete that container. I will write Docker remove container. Paste the container ID. Hit enter. It is deleted. Now Docker remove hello. It is deleted. You can go here. I do not have any container. I do not have either Ubuntu or hello world image. I will close this CMD again. Open a new one. Open a new CMD and sorry, it is going to open the Chrome browser. So it is taking some time in my PC because of like lot of overhead. But yes, just try to open command prompt from here. And I will write one command to pull the hello world image again. So I will zoom it for you. Which command is docker pull hello world. I just hit enter. You can see it is using default tag latest. So tag is nothing but I just wanted to show this one line to you. It is using default tag latest. Latest is nothing but it is latest version. Tag means its version. So it is nothing but it is fetching the latest version of your hello world image. You can see as soon as you will scroll this maybe here or in the docker file section. If it is yes, you can see tags section here. So move to this tag section. You can see there are a lot of versions. So that this tag is nano server. This is latest tag. Latest means latest version, and these are the other tags as well. So if I want to open this, you can see there are commands docker pull. I will just go back again. So tags is nothing but version. It means that if you want to execute any service, you can use execute its latest version or you can execute its older version as well. So by executing docker pull hello world, it will pull the latest or the latest version, latest tag. But if I want to use the older version, I can just write docker pull image name colon older version. So if you will see my documentation, it is docker pull mysql colon 8.0. 8.0 is older version. If I want to pull the older version of hello world image, I will copy this command docker pull hello world nano server, which is some different version from latest. So just open your command prompt, just open it and paste this command. Before entering, I want to show you which are images present. These are different, only one hello world image and tag is latest. As soon as I will execute this command, I will hit enter. You can see no matching manifestation. Okay, I will just write docker. It is running means that particular image has some issues. So we can just do it for some different image. Move to Docker Hub. We can move to Docker Hub. Maybe we can use any different version. So I will try to use it has a lot of sites. We will avoid that. Okay, you can see this one. Docker pull hello world Linux. I will try to execute this. Just paste the command, hit enter. Okay, I think it will get executed. Okay, it is pulling from like remote. Now if I will go to my Docker desktop, you can see I have two hello world image, but the difference is tag. One has latest tag and the recent one, it is Linux tag. So I hope you understand the things. You can use older versions as well. And I think that was the last command in my documentation. Okay, there are two more. Docker and -d. image name. So if you are using docker run -it image name, it is executing, creating and executing the container of image in interactive mode. -d means in background mode. Background mode means in the same command prompt you can use different, pull different images as well. It will not overtake your terminal. So -d means running, uh, creating a container and executing that container of particular image in background. Similarly, Docker run hyphen name, my name, container name, -d, image name. This is a too big looking, like, this command is looking large, but it is not that much complex. It is just for renaming a container. So see, you will move to this container section. I do not have any container created, but I want to create a container of Ubuntu. I can write docker run -it Ubuntu, but it had created a container which had name Bravebug, but I had not given that Bravebug name. It generally takes a random name. But now, if I'm working on a project, I need some meaningful names of my containers. How I can do that? Just open your command prompt. Just write a command docker run -it, give name by using hyphen name. I will give name as my hello world container. Just rename that, and docker run -it image name. What is my image name? Hello world. So your command is same, docker run -it hello world, which is your image name. Your command is same, but this hyphen name hello world container, you just renamed your container. I will hit enter. You can see, uh, it is taking some time. Okay, after hitting enter, you can see that, hello from docker, it is executed. Now here I can see the name as hello world container is created with my own rename. So this is the important command. I have covered all the basic commands. Now I will move to presentation, and we will cover some, like, other concepts as well. So moving forward to my presentation, I just completed docker commands. This was my last renaming a container. Moving forward, now we will talk about docker image layers. So when we are, like, working with docker images, all the images are created by using layers. So I don't know how many of you have noticed. The thing is, when you try to execute the container or try to pull the image of Ubuntu, what it was doing, it was telling this layer downloading, this layer downloading, this layer downloading, this layer. So it means that there is one base image. On the top of that image we have some other image created. On the top of that image we have other image created. So there are layers. In base image there are no frequent changes, but while we will go to move to forward, from layer A, layer B, these things contains frequent changes. So just images are built on the top of each other, creating different layers. So suppose I want to, pull the image MySQL and MySQL 8.0. Both will have some base image or base layers as common. So if I have pulled, MySQL 8.0 earlier, and I will try to pull MySQL latest now, so some layers there are already present in my local, because I have fetched or downloaded or pulled that layers already at the time of pulling my older version of MySQL. So this is nothing but image layers. Now we will try to know about port binding. What port binding is? So it is a process of binding the host machine port to the container port, and we call it as port binding. So I will tell you in a very simple way. Your local machine has some ports, and on that ports some services are running. Similarly, containers also has their own port. Very important thing is, there are two different things. One is your port of host machine, which is different. One is the port of your container, which is different. Both might be 8081. Suppose localhost 8081 is serving some, service for you on your host machine. It means that if you will put, request anything, any request on that particular port, it will be there on your host machine. But it can happen that your container is also running on that, because container is nothing but a separate environment inside your machine. So, like, remember two things: your container has port as well as your host machine has port, and you want that when on your host machine particular port, for example on host machine 8081, if I want to request anything on that port, I want that request should be executed on containers port. So I need to map my host machine port with my container port, and this is nothing but called as port binding. The syntax is -p host port colon container port. Example is docker run -d means in background mode. This is an environment variable. You can skip that. I will discuss this as well. Name MySQL latest. You can see -p 8080 to 3306. MySQL generally works on 3306. I want that in my local machine, whenever a request comes on port 8080, it is a port of my host machine. I want that the request should be like sent to 3306 port of my container. So that is why I have mapped my host machine port to my container port. It is a very simple procedure. I will open I will try to demonstrate that thing to you here. You can see in images section, I do not have what we can say MySQL image. So it takes some time, but we will try to pull the image. So I will just use Docker pull MySQL. I will hit enter. You can see it is using a default tag which is latest. It is pulling layers. I was saying the same thing. It is pulling layers. It is nothing but image layers. You can see it is downloading. It is getting downloaded. Each and everything is getting downloaded. If I'll try to download any different thing, it might occur that it is already installed or downloaded for MySQL latest version. So it will not again download it for different thing. But yes, now you can see it is getting downloaded and it is going to take some time. So till then I can just give you a demonstration of some other thing. Let the MySQL download complete from its end. So I will close this one tab. Now my PC is working slow, but I will try to demonstrate the things to you. So moving to my documentation, I just wanted to tell you how port binding works. So I will try to demonstrate you not by pulling MySQL because it is taking too much time and too much internet as well. So I just close that. Moving to my Docker desktop, you can see there are some images, and in container section you can see for this hello world container the ports are empty. What I can do is I can do it for maybe uh, hello world linux hello world linux image. So how I can do is I want to create one container which shows the example of port binding. So I will open my command prompt and I will write a simple command for you. You can just check that command, which is nothing but a docker run command, but which contains port binding. So docker run, we will run in detach mode. So it will contain an example of detach command as well. So I want to run this command is background mode, docker run -d. It does not have any environmental variables. I just want to rename it as my hello world Linux container. This is my name. Now I will bind the port. So -p, I want that the request which is coming on my 8081 port of my host machine, I want to map this to 3306. It is a default port for MySQL, but I'm just telling you the command here. So don't be confused. Hello World does not have a particular port of 3306, or we can either check whether it has any port. So moving to this, just come to overview section and I will control F port. I can see two things here. Okay, it does not have any default port. So we will assume that it has 3306 port. So understand the command docker run -d running in detached mode --name means I just given name as hello world Linux container -p host port at 8081. I want that all the requests coming to 8081 port of my host machine should be mapped to the 3306 port of my container. And what is my container name? Image name hello world Linux. Hit enter. It has created one container. Go to Docker desktop. Move to your containers. You can see there are two containers, which is hello world container and hello world Linux container. Here you can see there is no port binding, but here we have port binding, and this is how port binding is going to help us. We will discuss that in very details in one application, in one example as well. But moving forward uh, to my presentation, I hope port binding concept is also clear. Moving forward, we have a difference between a Docker versus virtual machine. This is an image which I have taken from Geeks for Geeks. You can see like each machine has three layers. One is hardware layer, one is operating system layer, and one is application layer. So the main difference is your virtual machine, it is going to virtualize your two layers, which is a host operating system layer as well as your application layer. So suppose it is like completely virtualizing your host operating system. So when you switch to a Windows to a virtual box of your Ubuntu, you do not have access to your Windows again. You need to close everything to access Windows again. The reason is it is virtualizing your two layers, host operating system as well as your top layer, which is application layer. But comparatively, Docker, it is built different. It only virtualizes your application layer. So what are the advantages? As it only virtualizes your top application layer, in short, what it does is it takes less overhead. That is why it is lightweight. It is portable. But it comes with some disadvantages as well. Initially, Docker was built for a Linux-based system. So if Docker is not virtualizing your host operating system, Docker definitely needs Linux-based system. So, but you will ask the question that why it is running on Windows. That is why we need Docker Desktop. Docker Desktop is a tool, it is a platform which help us to build and run our containers, which I told you earlier. So this is the disadvantage that it only virtualizes our application layer. That is why it needs the base Linux, and that's why we need to use Docker Desktop. But yes, it brings some advantages as well, as it is light overhead, less overhead, lightweight, portable, and that is why we generally prefer Docker because it is more faster as well. Moving forward, this is the concept of network and Docker. So what network and Docker means is Docker networks, they are just isolated part where two containers can interact with each other without any port. So if I created two containers, one is my MySQL container which has default port of 3306, one is my hello world image container. I want that I these two containers should like interact with each other, but it is not possible without accessing the port of each other. But if I want to do that without using the port, what I can do is I can create one container. You can say a separate isolated box, and I will put both my containers into that network so that all the containers in one network can execute, like interact with each other. So there are two commands. One is Docker network ls, which displays all my networks, and Docker network create network name, which creates a new network. So moving forward to command prompt, it is already open here. Docker network ls. We have some network present here. You might have bridge, host, and none. My network is my default network which I have created. The command to create network is docker create network, and I'll just look the command again to my documentation, which is here I can see the command is docker network create network. Docker network create network. So the command is docker network. There is space between the two. Docker network create, and I will give the name as my network 2. I will hit enter. Again I will check docker network ls. I can see my network 2 is created. To create a container inside a network, what we can do is I will open a Docker desktop for you. You can see there is nothing present here. I will delete this container of Linux first, and I will again create a container inside my network. So I will write a command docker run -it hyphen name. What will be my name? Hello world Linux container, and my network will be -network. Network name will be my network 2. And what will be my image name? Image name will be hello world Linux. This is the complete command. I will just minimize it for you. You can see the command is docker run -it -name. I have given name as hello world Linux container, and network is my network 2, which I just created, and hello world Linux. I will hit enter. You can see, moving to this Docker desktop, you can see, just open this. uh, I'm not able to tell you exactly where you can see the networks associated with your, but we can check in inspect as well if we are able to find anything. Okay, you can see in your inspect section on line number 39, network mode is my network 2. It tells that it is created under my network 2. Okay, so I hope network concept is also cleared. Now we will again move to my documentation. Before that, I think we missed some troubleshoot commands, which is there in my documentation, but yes, we can cover that as well. Now we will develop with Docker, but before that, we will like look into some commands, which are my troubleshooting commands. So it is present in my documentation. We have two commands, which is Docker logs container ID, and one is Docker execute container ID. So what generally these two commands do is, it nothing but Docker logs container ID give me the logs of my container. So I will just open my Docker desktop, and just I will move to this you can say images section. Here go to container section. This is my container ID. Open this hello world container. You can see these are the logs. Now if I will just paste the command docker logs, paste the command, hit enter, it is just displaying me all the logs which are we can access from our this Docker desktop UI as well. So now the thing is, the next troubleshooting command is nothing but docker execute -it container ID bin bash. So by executing this command, we can check which are the environment variables. We can use different commands as well. But now, I hope all the basic commands are clear to you. Uh, I'll just go to my presentation again. I will switch to presentation tab. I will present it for you, and I will just expand it for you. So I hope till now Docker network each and everything is clear. I hope everyone is able to understand the things which I have discussed. I hope you all are able to install Docker successfully, able to understand what Docker does theoretically as well as by practically by implementing the tutorial. And I hope you just try these commands for like, if you are getting any issues, just write the issues in my comment section. You can connect with me on my LinkedIn as well. We can discuss about Docker there as well. So I just wanted to be give a demonstration for Docker from very basics. In next video, we will try to Dockerize our own application. I will give you example of services, Docker Compose, Docker Volumes. A lot of advanced topics will be covered in next video. So I hope this is too much for today. We will meet soon in next part of Docker, or maybe next part, or maybe three parts will be there. We'll try to cover each and everything in very details. So everything required will be in description. Thank you so much for watching this video, and have a great day.